Hey everybody, this is do I got my mic on? Okay, everybody, this is Shaun with on Crossing the Aisle here. Lindsey's running a little bit. I got a delay on the thing. Got me going. Sorry, I had some technical difficulties, everybody. This is it's called It's Shaun. I'm sorry I can't hear myself at all, but we got some road work for Lindsey, and that's the problem. And I've been trying to also like multitask getting feedback about what's going on. So we have some breaking news right now. It looks like the Iranians have attacked our base in Qatar, and Andrew Gassar is sitting here with me right now. Is that right?
Gasser. That's
Gasser. I can never. Everybody says it different ways. So.
Yeah, it's German. It's Gasser, but it's all good. We had a troll last hour calling me, all sorts of stuff, so it's all good.
Well, don't trust me, dude. You know how many ways people have said my last name over the years? Like there's so many ways to do it. Like when I was in the Marines, it was Eucatorian. So on Saturday was my birthday, and there was a good friend of mine that was in my platoon in the Marine Corps and boot camp on Parris Island, and we had the same birthday. We both turned 18, and so even on Saturday he sends me a text. He's like, "Hey, what's up, Eucatorian? Like it'll never die."
The military gives us a name and they just go with it.
Yeah, it just sticks with us. So, but and speaking of our military, I know we're Andrew and I are both veterans, and very important the safety of our troops right now in the Middle East. So the Iranians, it looks like, have run attacks against Qatar as well as our base in Iraq. Is that right too?
That's what I read.
They've shot missiles. I assume that's their only form of attack. They don't have ground troops attacking these bases. And I remember though, Andrew, in 2020, when Trump ordered the hit on Soleimani, that they attacked our base in Iraq too, but weren't we able to like deflect all the missiles, I think, at that point or something?
We ended up stopping most of them. We've got Patriot batteries there. We have THAAD batteries there, and they might have other stuff that we don't know about there. But we did a good job. The ones that did get through back in 2020, they fell short. It was almost like Iran didn't want to hit us.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Because if they would have hit us, they know we would have gone.
What's coming at that point?
Look at this.
But that's a good point. And I wonder if they felt the same way here. I guess we'll find out shortly what the extent of the damage is in Qatar. So, and Iraq, our base in Iraq. Now, the base in Qatar, I think, is our largest installation in the Middle East.
It is. It's got a big runway there, and a lot of different assets are there.
Yeah,
all different services.
So it seems to me though this is a little bit different than 2020, where when Trump, which I agreed with the strike on Soleimani, and when Trump did that, it felt like the Iranians were like, okay, we're mad, but we don't want to be big mad, And so, but here I think they might be a little bit more mad than they were at that time, considering this operation and the fact that the Israelis are already involved in a kind of quasi war with them right now. So
it just seems to me that Iran really only has one way out. They just have to go full on, because they've been bombed to smithereens. They don't have an air force at all.
Yeah.
Their air defense systems have all been effectively taken out, and their nuclear program is pretty much on the fritz. So it's going to be interesting to see what Iran does. And again, I don't want to talk too long, but we're not against the Iranian people. The people are great. The culture is wonderful, but those leaders, they got to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Andrew, I appreciate you sitting in with me while Lindsey was navigating road construction that's going on here. But luckily, they're doing some road work in Madison County.
I'm from Mississippi. I say
Gasser.
And I'll answer to it. It's all good.
Got it. Anyway, so that's where we are, folks. And Lindsey's about to take her chair, and we're going to talk about this. But it just started breaking that Iran is again attacking a U.S. base in Qatar, and I've got some other reports that also are based in Iraq as well, that they fire missiles on both bases. But if you've heard anything more than me, this is just me walking into the studio, seeing this. Anything about the attacks in Iraq, I haven't really read much about that. I can just see the Qatar attack, what is going on, and whether I don't know if there's any reports whether we've deflected any of those missiles or not. I know the president, I believe, is in the Situation Room as we speak.
with his hat on.
Yeah, with his hat on, right, deciding what to do. And so we'll these things are going to break, I guess, while we're on the air. What's going on? And it's scary times, everybody. It's scary times for our troops over there. Yesterday, we did hear was from the Russian ambassador, Lindsey, who made claims that basically the U.S. is now driving the entire world towards a nuclear war. So that was kind of hitting the papers this morning in the news channels, and what the Russians' response will they, because, if you look at the Iranians are one of the Russians' biggest allies. I mean, the Iranians are making all the drones for the Russians in the war in Ukraine. So, do the Russians get involved now? I don't know. It's
You're speaking a different language to me.
well,
Andrew might have been better to stay and have this conversation.
Andrew would have been better to talk about this with. Well,
I can talk to you about transgender care and how ridiculous
and
that
we will
is.
get to the important issue of transgender care and cervical screening, as I saw yesterday, as I mentioned.
Absurd, absolutely.
But right now we are now engaged in a war with Iran. It looks pretty apparent, and we will see where this leads. Is this going to bog us down in the Middle East for another 20 years like we were since 2001? Are we going to be in and out of this? I just don't know yet. It's too early to see what's going to happen to the extent of this. Do other countries get pulled into this? Are we
didn't we get pulled into this?
Well, we pulled ourselves into it. We decided to get on the side of Israel and then conduct the Operation Midnight Hammer on Saturday. So
it was interesting because we were not standing there. We were sitting there listening to President Trump give his statement, his live statement. Was that Saturday night?
Saturday night, yeah.
And it was like we just took a picture in front of that same door where he's standing.
That's always easy to remember the pictures, right?
Yeah.
That's it. And the East Room, yeah. And so does this cause us? Is this going to be the potential of a World War III? That's a big possibility with all the players that we've got. What side is China going to line up on? Is China going to move against Taiwan now? Man, there's just so many things here that could happen because of this.
I thought this was between Israel and Iran and us. Where are you talking about all these other countries?
Well, I mean, there's just a lot of things. I mean, World War I and World War II were against certain countries, which brought in other countries. Didn't have the history of all that. So that's the way world wars start. The Russians are very close to the Iranians, obviously, because of their especially their drone situation. And now the Russians are sitting there wagging their finger at us for doing this attack on Saturday. The Chinese have been aligned with the Russians, and they've wanted to move against Taiwan for a long time. This could give them that opening to do so. Again, I don't know whether the Russians jump in on the side of the Iranians here. If they do, that's World War III. It's a very scary time. And that's, and again, I know people may not like this opinion. I blame on Israel for pulling us into this. And I felt like they kind of tied our hands where we had to get involved, unfortunately. And that's kind of where we are right now. So again, I just pray for the troops and hopefully everything's going to be okay. Hopefully nobody gets killed in these attacks. We were in 2020, I bless, we were good at warding them off. So excuse me.
Yeah.
No, I'm coughing.
Scary.
Yep. Scary times. And we will just update you as much as this is about all we know right now, y'all. And we will try to update you as much as we can, but we can talk about transgender and cervical screening in the meantime until we can.
Absolutely absurd. So what just happened? So Iran attacked us, but they attacked our base in another country.
Yeah. So what happened is, obviously you saw Saturday night, we attacked the Fordo site and a couple other nuclear sites in Iran with the B-2 bombers, which was an amazing mission. Don't get me wrong. It was really an amazing mission that they pulled off. Once we did that, now this is their response to that. They're attacking our base in Qatar, which has about 10,000 U.S. service personnel there, as well as our one in Iraq.
But weren't we what I just saw is that they were warding off they were using something to stop the missiles from getting to our base. And so did any of them actually hit?
That I don't know yet. I guess we're just going to have to see as, get updated in real time if any of the actual missiles landed. In 2020, I don't believe any of them did when they responded to the attack on Soleimani. But I think it was almost deliberate that they didn't too. As Andrew was saying, the Iranians didn't really want to hit us, but they had to show that they were responding. Here's a little different situation where we're dealing with the Israelis started this war and we got in on it Saturday. And so we'll see what the Iranians, the full measure, I guess is what I'm trying to say, of their response. Are they serious about responding? Because, Lindsey, they don't really have, they're not going to be able to take us out. They don't have that military capability to be able to do that, especially in a long game. But does this draw other people into this? Does this put American boots on the ground? I think those are questions that remain to be seen and see where we go with all of it. And that's what
were we worried about that they had?
What we worried about? Okay, they had uranium.
That I always said uranium because it's Iran.
And we were worried about them developing a nuclear bomb. Now there are different reports about that. Tulsi Gabbard, the director of intelligence, said that they were not close to a bomb. The Israelis said they were. Of course, the Israelis also have been saying that for the last 30 years. So it depends on who you believe in that situation.
They have weapons of mass destruction.
And we've heard that one before, unfortunately. So it depends on what you believed, and but they did have that facility at Fordo, which apparently our military strike was pretty successful at hitting. Now I think there's no radiation detected as far as I know, so I think the Iranians are able to successfully get that uranium out of there before the attack. But still, I think we destroyed their capabilities of turning it into a bomb.
Is this like radioactive material?
Yeah, and so like we didn't want, and I think there was kind of a little conspiracy theory I've got going. I was telling Andrew before we went on air is that I think the Chinese got it out of there first because we didn't really want to blow that up because of the
because it'll end up like 3 Mile Island or like
and so there's some exactly right. So there's some issues with that. So I think we just wanted to destroy their capability to turn this into a bomb, and that's what I think we successfully were able to do that as far as I'm reading.
So Trump was successful.
I believe that I believe his military strike there was successful. Sure.
I saw that he got all of our, I guess whoever was flying the jets or whatever released this. I mean, I don't know all the technical terms, but all the Americans got back home safely.
They did. It was a highly successful mission, pulled off, very, very well. And it's absolutely successful. So
I feel like we should read a post that you made. I mean, I think that the public deserves to hear it since you deleted it.
Right.
Hold on, let me find it.
That's all right.
So Saturday night after Shaun heard Trump speak, he made a post which I thought was great. It's the best post I've ever seen Shaun make. Of course, he woke up Sunday morning and deleted it. But he said, and I quote, "The United States has launched an attack on Iran tonight, placing us in a state of war. While I disagree with the decision, I'll stand with my president and country until it's over."
Shouldn't we stand with
absolutely?
Shouldn't everybody stand with the president? I remember after Barack Obama ordered the
told y'all I was going to bring him around.
I remember after Barack Obama ordered the assassination of the successful of Osama bin Laden. Plenty of people didn't stand behind him, and I always thought that was stupid. So I'm not going to be the same guy. Like, I mean, if we're going to war, then you got to support the president and the troops, and that's what you do. That doesn't mean you can't speak out against the war in terms of like you don't agree with the decision, but you should never like hope it not to be successful. Like I never was like that way in Iraq. I thought I'd hope we would do better than we did. We just didn't, but I was still always against the war.
You know who Trump should put on his advisory team if he really wants to win?
Who's that?
Alan Jackson, David Yannetti, Robert Alessi, and Liza Little.
Yes, the things that matter now: TV trials and the cervical screening for transgender men. That was a really an interesting topic we had yesterday. We'll probably get into it next segment. But I saw an ad for like trans men need to get cervically screened for cancer, and I got confused because I was like, which one's the trans man? And Lindsey had to explain that to me. And
it's like, well, look at the little picture, the little diagram they gave you. You can see where this person has had their breast cut off, so they probably still have a uterus. And I said, but that's BS. Yeah. I mean, that whole post is full of lies because there's no such thing as a trans man. That is a woman. Yeah. With a uterus.
The issues that count here on Crossing the Aisle. Forget, who is a trans man.
Y'all stay with us. I'm sure we'll break that down and much more in the next segment. We'll be right back here at WIB 103.9, Crossing the Aisle. Crossing the Aisle.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
Are you looking to get stronger, fitter, and push your limits? CrossFit Fondren is where Jackson trains. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, our expert coaches and supportive community will help you crush your goals. Join us for high-intensity workouts that build strength, endurance, and confidence. No gimmicks, just real results. Try your first class today for free. Visit us at CrossFitFondren.com or stop by the gym 3002 North Mill Street in Jackson, in the heart of Fondren.
Nick Bain served Mississippi for over a decade in the State House. During that time, he fought for our children by protecting them against explicit materials pushed by the woke agenda. He protected taxpayers by streamlining government and helped create policies that have made Mississippi better. Nick and his team at Bain Bowen will use the same tenacity in helping you with all your legal matters. Call them today at 601-953-2994. Find Nick online at bainbowen.com. That's BAIN Bowen.com.
Did you know that the average 6-room house collects 40 pounds of dust each year? Local business Pure Air Consultants duct cleaning service can rid your home of the dust, dirt, and debris that may be caught in your air ducts. They can eliminate the mold, fungi, and microbes that might be growing inside your ductwork and polluting the air you breathe in your home. Mention WYAB and receive a free UV light with system replacement. Visit online at mypureairconsultants.com. mypureairconsultants.com.
I'm Laura Knight of Pro-Life Mississippi. We have a special opportunity for you to stand for life this summer at the Mississippi Life Summit. Join Pro-Life Mississippi on June the 27th and 28th at First Baptist Church of Richland for a powerful 2-day event dedicated to defending the sanctity of life. Are you a pro-life advocate or a church leader? Well, we want to see you at this event. At the Mississippi Life Summit, you will engage in over 20 impactful sessions led by expert speakers on both the state and national level. We will cover topics like the abortion pill, hospice care, fertility, adoption, human trafficking, and so many more. Registration is only $100, which includes lunch on both days. Learn more or register today at prolifems.org. That's prolifems.org. Or call us at 601-956-8636. That's 601-956-8636.
Pet emergencies don't wait, so why should you? At Urge Vet Emergency Vets of Madison, we offer low wait times and cutting-edge technology to provide fast, expert care for all household pets. Our hours of operation are weeknights 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. and 24 hours on weekends and holidays. Our phone number is 601-790-1918 and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Because when it comes to your pet's health, trust the team that's fast, reliable, and compassionate.
Rotor's Plumbing of Pearl, your familiar plumber with these similar names. Locally owned and operated by Chris Rotor, Rotor's Plumbing is no franchise, simply lower prices and better service without the dreaded overpriced upsell. Rotor's is one of the few places you'll find that actually specialize in tankless water heater repair, as well as being your full-service plumber. And most importantly, service after the sale, meaning the techs actually answer your call, with misses averaging callbacks of 10 minutes or less. Rotor's Plumbing at roedersplumbing.com.
Dr. Mike Stonington here from Stonington Farm Grass-Fed Beef. We are grass-fed and grass-finished beef. No hormones, no antibiotics, no grain, no broad spraying of herbicides or pesticides. And never, I mean never, do we use mRNA vaccines. We are 100% local and 100% Mississippi. Our calves are born in Mississippi, raised on Stonington Farm, and processed in Mississippi. Contact us at StoningtonFarm.com. That's StoningtonFarm.com with 2 N's. We are the grass-fed difference.
We are back here on Crossing the Aisle, WIB 103.9. Shaun, on my way here, I was hearing that there is a heat wave and it's hitting Washington. They said it's 100 degrees there. And I thought, Lord, I know how that feels. I'm so glad I'm not running down the sidewalks of DC today.
Yeah, the summer has officially begun. So here we go. It's
begins on your birthday, right? Your birthday is the first day of summer. Shaun is now a year older, everyone.
Yeah, thanks. That's great. Hey, look, it's better than the alternative, as my mother would always say. The anyway, yeah, so we'll be at 150 degrees until October 20th. So everybody enjoy yourself for the next 4 months.
Yeah.
This is Mississippi. I always wonder when they came and somebody settled Mississippi and they were like, did they come in the winter? Like, they didn't come in like July and be like, oh yeah, we're gonna move here. Like,
my mom always said,
unpack the wagon.
If you don't like the weather, just hang around. It'll change real quick. You never know what you're gonna get.
I just don't believe the original settlers of Mississippi were like, yeah, we're here in July. There's no way. They were already here, like built a house, and we got to be July. They're like, oh man, we really effed up.
Yeah, we should.
We should have gone somewhere else. It's a really bad idea. It's so hot. Anyway,
so y'all know Shaun, what a big jokester he is. Oh, did you have something you were going to go into? Yeah,
the real. So I got an update here. So the missile attack on our base in Qatar was intercepted. There's no deaths or injuries reported so far. So I think a Patriot battery actually knocked all the Iranian missiles out. So congratulations to our troops over there for successfully defending against that so far.
See, that's what I always say to you. I say, well, I mean, they can't really attack us here, right? Don't we have like technology that watches for bombs or missiles or things coming at us, and they can get rid of it or shoot it down or whatever they do before it actually hits?
Yes and no. Now the Russians have what's called an ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missiles, and I think so do the Chinese. Now the Iranians do not have that kind of technology to be able to use that. So no, I don't think the Iranians have the capability to fire a missile from Iran to the United States. That's true. Now they do have, what the worry is, and this has been reported by the government has said that the sleeper cells, that are terrorist cells that are in the United States, have been activated.
What's scary.
That scares the crap out of me. I mean, I'm not worried about the Iranians. I don't think they don't have the military capability to fire a missile from there to here, or they don't have, as far as I know, they don't have any nuclear subs, I'm pretty sure. So they can't do any of that. But they can go, wear a vest and blow up a building, or we've got, 4th of July is coming up shortly. And I'm scared.
Don't give them any ideas.
Well, I mean, I'm sure I'm sure they've got the idea in their head. If they were going to hit us, that's a time to, they blow up a baseball stadium or something. I mean, yeah, anything could happen. It's very scary that they, doing that. So everybody, which needs to be vigilant over the 4th right now, because we're all at a very, very uneasy time. And obviously I don't know. I think we could call it what we want, but we are at a state of war with the Iranians at this point.
I mean, we don't need any sleeper cells. We've got crazy people that were born here that do crazy things. I mean,
yeah, we don't need any help.
They don't need any help.
We don't need to, yeah, exactly. Like maybe our crazies will realize that they're Americans and help us fight the foreign. It's like, okay, let's have a detente for a moment, crazy domestic crazies. Just go fight the foreign crazies. It's kind of like that thing I saw. I think it's that movie, The Rocketeer, old movie. I don't know if everybody saw it. And
nobody has seen old movies.
It's a Disney movie. Like, anyway, so
Disney's woke.
It's even like 1990. Anyway, so like they're making a deal with the American mafia, like in Chicago, is like making a deal to sell some weapons to this group, but then they find out that they're Nazis. It's set during World War II, and so
Your obsession with the Nazis.
So the mafia guys start shooting the Nazis, and they're like, "What are you talking about? We're making a deal." He's like, "Yeah, but we're Americans first. We're criminals, but we're Americans first." And start shooting the Nazis, and they're like, "Yes, I'm hoping that'll happen." Yeah, so hopefully that'll happen here. But yeah, that is a worrisome thing, coming up with their, probably one of our biggest holidays and most important ones, definitely, I would think.
Yeah.
And that they could
freedom and liberty.
Yeah, they could hit us, and that's a scary thought. So everybody be vigilant, be safe during the holidays.
Not vigilante,
no. But we have again intercepted the missiles to our base. I don't know about the base in Iraq. Hopefully the same thing has occurred there. But there are missiles fired at both bases in Qatar and Iraq, successfully intercepted in Qatar. And we'll see what happens next. Now, apparently, I'm getting some reports that they're attacking some of our troops in Bahrain. I don't know the accuracy of that, but that's just what's on the news. So we'll see as the day goes by. We just hit us while we were on air. We were going to talk about the attack on Saturday night. Did not know a response, and who could have. That response was coming this quickly, but the Iranians are attacking us, and it seems to me that we're in I guess you would say, a state of war with the Iranians at this point.
Yeah, so if you have any thoughts or opinions that you want to let us know about, you can call the station here at 601-879-0002. You can tell Shaun all about how ridiculous it is to think that a man needs to be screened for uterine cancer, cervical cancer.
It's a trans man, which is a biological female, which then that does make sense, right? Because it's actually a woman.
No, it doesn't make sense at all. It makes no sense at all. It's a woman.
That's why I was confused when it said, I didn't know what a trans man was. You had to tell me, because you're the resident transgender expert. Like, I literally would not know anything about transgender people if we were not dating. I would know not one thing. Because all I think of is it's raining men and them in like a dude in a dress at a nightclub. Like, it's the only thing I think of when I don't.
But we've seen transgender people.
We were at a bar. At
the bowling alley.
Oh, we did see one at the bowling alley.
You think they don't exist? They're everywhere, and they're multiplying rapidly.
There are signs everywhere, Shaun. Was it like the Gremlins or something? I mean,
it kind of like you're like your dog. I mean,
jeez. I mean, so anyway, I don't. So I have to ask Lindsey the transgender questions because I know nothing.
No, he doesn't just ask me. He likes to pick at me, and he likes to make me irate. Is what he likes to do. Well, he loves to get under my skin.
When you walked in, you're like, maybe Andrew needs to sit here to talk about the Iranian Middle East war stuff. So it's kind of like when the transgender stuff. I don't know anything about that either. So
yes, you do. You know lots about it because I've told you.
All I know is a dude like wears a dress. That's all I know. That's literally all I know.
No, I didn't know what more than that.
I didn't know what a trans man was. Did I not ask you that?
You know way more than that. You know that about the UMC clinic that opened. You know we passed the law here in Mississippi. You know they're going after children. You've seen transgender children. I have given you all the statistics and facts. You know.
Okay. Yeah, I know more than I'm letting on. Apparently, is that right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay, I know.
Yeah.
I'm
Absolutely.
going to ask ChatGPT what they think because I don't really know.
Your obsession with ChatGPT has become quite concerning. He can't answer a question anymore without going to ChatGPT first and checking what they have to say about it.
Sometimes want to know. One of the topics we did want to talk about before the response by the Iranians or the trans men cervical cancer or prostate exam, whatever it is the so we were watching a court TV yesterday and looking at like all these like women.
That's what I do all the time.
Yeah, all these like women teachers that are having sex with underage men in
Children.
high school.
They're children.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I mean,
14 years old.
and we were talking about it like so. So we were watching some of these cases. One was this Christina Formella in Illinois, who's a soccer coach also.
It's Shaun loves to pick at me just constantly about anything, anything at all. And so, of course, his first response was, well, she's really hot. Like, why didn't I have teachers like that? Like, look at her.
All right,
like,
fellas, go Google Christina Formella and tell me if you don't agree with me. So like she began grooming a male student at 14. Prosecutor says she had sex with him at least 45 times and around
at the school, at her house.
At the school, at her house. And she was actually getting married during this time too. And her husband, who is standing by her through all this, which is quite amazing to me. But they got married while this was going on last August, I believe, of 24. So, and then we were talking, and then there was another lady who was about, I think she was like 43, and she, same situation.
She was like 46.
Yeah, well, she was something like that. And she was a lot older than this. Formella was around 30. And she, same thing, messing around with a 14, 15-year-old child, basically a male child. And we're talking about like, so all these people were arguing for like probation. And so I told Lindsey, it's interesting because if this were a dude doing this, we would hammer him. Like when I was a prosecutor, if I found out like a 43-year-old guy was having sex with a 15-year-old student, it'd be like, bye like, you know what I mean? Like,
y'all probably be kind of shocked at my opinion on this, but I kind of agree. It's like, it's just different.
Yeah,
it's just different. I think when you're a female, like all the emotional attachments that come with a physical or sexual relationship that can damage you for life, especially when you're young. I don't know that young males have that same kind of situation happen.
Yeah, I think on the base level, we're all like, I don't think I disagree with you because I think if I was prosecuting the woman, I'd probably be lighter on her than I would have the guy.
No, I still believe she should be in trouble. She's still a predator. She's still a groomer.
Yeah, it's still pretty messed up.
She should definitely have to answer for it and I think the one that we were watching last night, the 46-year-old, she ended up getting 3 years in prison and then like a very long probation period after that. But
a guy would have got like 20.
And rightfully so. And should. I just think that a young female victim has a lot more to overcome than a male victim. And I'm not saying that it doesn't affect them at all, because obviously I'm sure that it does. And I think more than anything, the reason is that there's something wrong with this woman. She's sick in the head somehow.
Yeah, she was always something's problem. And of course there was a statement from the victim, the male student, about the 46-year-old, and he was saying like he'd been made fun of by his friends. And I could totally see like guys, like what guys would do would be like, bro,
where's your teacher?
Yeah. We would
like
we would
screaming
totally
at him on the baseball field.
But we'd also think it was cool. Like that's what guys would do. Like women wouldn't treat other women that same way, but guys,
they would be looked at like they have a scarlet letter.
Yeah,
and they would be wouldn't be able to like make eye contact with anyone, hang their head in shame.
No, but the guy's gonna be like out there with his fist pumping, and other dudes are like, bro, that's awesome. Like that's what guys, because we're sick.
You are.
We're sick. That's what we do.
But still, the predator in either situation, male or female, there's something really wrong in your head if you want to start a sexual relationship and you're 30 or 40 or 46 or whatever with a 14-year-old.
Disgusting.
And I told Shaun last night, I said, I know what 16, 17, 18-year-old boys look like. They look like kids.
Yeah, they're
like that's not something.
And the older you get, they look more younger.
Yeah.
You would notice that like now that I'm 46, and even if I see a girl that's like 20, I'm like thinking that she's 12. Like when I see a 20-year-old girl, I'm like, oh, that girl's probably about 12.
Yeah.
It just changes. I think the more, further removed way you get from that age, like people just like right now when you run into, or I'll run into like some dude's like 70, he's like, hey youngster. I'm like, dude, I'm almost 50. Like I'm not that young, but that's what you think when your age groups just kind of separate that much, I think. So yes, it's really disgusting when somebody in their 40s is like having sex with a 14-year-old.
So gross. So gross.
You deserve
especially
what you
when
get.
you're married. And then this one that Shaun thinks is so hot. Her husband
Christina Formella. If anybody wants to Google.
Are you looking at her right
I'm
now?
looking at ChatGPT telling me the information. Just you brought that up. So
Yeah, her husband is staying with her.
yeah,
And they're
it's
basically
crazy.
newlyweds, and he's like standing by her, walking her into court. It's
Stand by
outrageous.
your woman. I can't take the song. So,
All right, we got to take a commercial break. Y'all stay with us. More tunes from Shaun
yeah.
when we get back right here at WIB 103.9. From Shaun when we get back right here at WIB 103.9.
.1039 WYAB.
Peace, love, and pizza. Happy holidays from Johnny's Pizza House. Try our new cauliflower crust today. 10 inches of crunchy good vibes for a limited time only. Groove on in and share a slice today. Peace, love, and pizza from Johnny's Pizza House.
Win free pizza for a year this summer at Johnny's Pizza House. Your pizza's already a work of art. Now, let it win you free pizza for a year. Just snap a pic with your favorite pizza and enter to win at johnnysph.com/share-my-slice. Peace, love, and pizza at Johnny's Pizza House.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
I'm Shaun Yurtkaran, and I've spent nearly 20 years in the courtroom, first as a prosecutor in Hinds County, now fighting for my clients as a defense attorney. I know how the system works, and I know how to protect your rights. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call me at 601-862-1320 or visit me at onetextlaw.com. That's onetextlaw.com. Serious cases need serious defense. And remember, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Let's get to work.
Pure Air Consultants has always been your go-to for reliable and affordable heating and cooling systems, and now we are offering day and night brand to avoid the 25 to 30% increases that everyone is talking about. With day and night, Pure Air Consultants professionals can install a reliable system with a 10-year system warranty, and right now receive $20 off on service diagnostic fees. Call us today, 601-939-7420, mypureairconsultants.com.
CBS News special report. Iran has fired 6 short-range missiles into Qatar, targeting a U.S. base there, the largest U.S. base in the region. Reporter Olivia Rinaldi.
We are told by the White House that they are monitoring this closely. We know that at 1 p.m. today, the president was set to convene with national security advisors and members of his national security team here at the White House to talk about what has happened in Iran, the fallout from the bombing of Fordow over the weekend.
Correspondent Weijia Jiang reports the Trump administration had been urging Iran to return to diplomacy, but said it was prepared either way.
The U.S. is not ruling out more attacks. They are saying it really depends on Iran, and if necessary, they will respond again.
Iran said today the U.S. had destroyed diplomacy. Qatar has temporarily suspended air traffic across the country, and foreigners there had been urged to shelter in place. CBS News special report. I'm Cammie McCormick.
Yazoo Valley Electric Power Association wants you to stay away from downed power lines. Downed power lines carry the risk of deadly electric shock, even if the broken wire is not sparking. If a wire is crossing a road or driveway, avoid the area and keep others away. If you see a downed power line, back away and call your utility company or 911. When you call, be prepared to provide the specific address or location of the downed power line so a repair crew can get there as quickly as possible. This safety message brought to you by Yazoo Valley Electric Power Association.
I'm Shaun Yurtkaran, and I've spent nearly 20 years in the courtroom, first as a prosecutor in Hinds County, now fighting for my clients as a defense attorney. I know how the system works, and I know how to protect your rights. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call me at 601-862-1320 or visit me at onetextlaw.com. That's onetextlaw.com. Serious cases need serious defense. And remember, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Let's get to work.
Are you a wine enthusiast? Are you looking for the perfect bottle to elevate your next dinner? The ultimate destination for wine lovers is 042 Wine and Spirits on West Government Street in Brandon. They're locally owned, they're locally operated. 042 Wine offers something for everyone, from local favorites to rare vintage wines. 042 Wine and Spirits can help you find your next favorite wine. The friendly and knowledgeable folks at 042 Wine and Spirits will help you find the perfect bottle for every occasion. 042 Wine and Spirits, located on West Government Street in Brandon. Men, if you answer yes to any of these questions, you could be suffering from low testosterone. Do you have low sex drive? ED, always tired, depressed, loss of muscle mass, obese, loss of focus and drive? You, my friends, need to get your numbers checked. Check out Men's Health of Mississippi, located in Madison, Mississippi, and online at menshealthms.com. Guys, get your numbers checked today. Trust me, she'll thank you for it. I promise. menshealthms.com. Men's Health of Mississippi. Come together.
We are back here on Crossing the Aisle with Shaun and Lindsey. Some of you took Shaun's advice and did Google this teacher, and won't name any names, but he got some text messages saying, yeah, she's really hot. Gerald.
Gerald's yeah, he Googled it. I mean, look, it's an interesting conversation. Like, so let's just put it this way. It's hottie school teachers that are sleeping with
hottie school teachers.
I mean, that's really what this boils down to.
That's real professional.
I'm just saying that's what it boils down to. And they get light sentences when a dude wouldn't, which I agree with that for some weird way. I don't know why. I think I think you're right. Like, I think it is just different.
It does seem different.
But
let me tell y'all how kind of a boyfriend I have.
Oh, yeah.
So we're joking around, talking about different funny things, and he decides he wants a billboard.
Yeah. Well, Clay gave me this idea for the billboard. Not the idea of what
we've been talking about a billboard for months.
Yeah, but he told me about these blip billboards. I didn't know about that. The blip billboard thing. Anyway.
So he, as I said, he uses ChatGPT constantly. That's his go-to for information these days. And he has used my picture so many times in ChatGPT that ChatGPT just automatically creates a cartoon image based on me whenever he tells it to create an image.
Yeah, of a woman, right.
So he decided he wanted to do one of these blip billboards for 4th of July, because obviously people drink and drive and they need a DUI attorney. And
go to onetextlaw.com if you so.
And he decided that he would make, he has this, how his brain works. He's sick. It's just, there's something really wrong up there. And he decided that he would, since he finds this whole pineapple reunion swinger scandal deal rumors all these years, he finds that to be quite hilarious. So he tells ChatGPT to create a patriotic or a 4th of July ad of a woman with a pineapple on her shirt
in American flag colors
and drinking.
The pineapple depicts a woman that looks sort of like Lindsey, you could say, and it's got wearing a t-shirt with a red, white, and blue pineapple on it and holding a glass of wine.
And we laugh like, ha 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 ha. Well, then he texts me Saturday. Him and his sister and I are in a group chat, and he texts the group chat and says, "Billboards are live." And I said, "What?" He has portrayed me as a drunk American patriot swinger on a billboard.
Yeah.
That is now actually live and being seen.
Yeah, but don't forget, it's what it says on the billboard too. It says just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Be safe this 4th of July. The Yurt Karan Law Firm, onetexlaw.com. And you can see these billboards in Pearl and in Brandon, because that's where I've got them stationed.
You put a new one up?
I put a new one this morning, but I'm probably going to add some more, just the whole metro areas.
I feel like I just need to preface this by saying
what?
I don't drink and drive.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't participate in any swinger parties.
It's not a swinger. It's a patriotic pineapple, Lindsey. I mean, look, anything can be patriotic. I could have put a dog, like a patriotic dog.
Shaun, don't even, good and well what that pineapple means.
I mean, it means that to you, apparently. I was just thinking.
Apparently, that's exactly what you meant for it to mean.
I mean, that's what you want to say. That's okay, Lindsey. But I mean, look, I mean, maybe if one of the swingers club people gets a DUI, they'll call me because they see this pineapple. It's like the bat signal to them. And they see it and they're like, oh, yeah, definitely. That's what they call.
I just think you should have made the girl look completely different than me.
It shouldn't have been. Well, maybe. But I mean, you're the one who told me yesterday, oh, we got to do We got to brand this. It's got to be the same message. I think the same girl with the
I
pineapple.
meant
forever.
the words. You know exactly what I meant.
Oh, I thought you were the same girl with the pineapple. Like, have you different sayings around town as the pineapple girl?
No, you know what I meant.
Oh.
Stop. Gosh, you're
Okay.
such an aggravator.
See, I thought that's what you meant, that we are going to have you.
You
as
know
the-
good and well what I meant because we discussed it at length.
I mean, look, I think the Pineapple Club is the worst kept secret in central Mississippi. I mean, so much so that, Cheney's got T-shirts and hats and everything in his store, all based on that, which is, so now this is, just
Who?
Cheney, Cheney. He's got
Who's Cheney?
Cheney is like the infamous T-shirt guy in Jackson.
I don't know Cheney.
Okay,
I've
well,
never even heard of Cheney. We use Michael Applewhite.
Right. Yes, I understand that. Michael's great as well. I'm just saying Cheney,
I don't know
skateboard shop.
Cheney.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Point is, he makes the shirts, and now we've got our own pineapple. It's like you, Lindsay, very patriotic pineapple.
I've never worn a pineapple on my shirt. So
I
then,
mean-
so then for his birthday, he got a Hawaiian shirt with pineapple.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, it was my idea that people will remember the ads because they'll think of patriotic Lindsay with the patriotic pineapple, and think about the Swingers Club and all that kind of stuff. And
I don't want anybody to think about a swingers
Look,
club and think about me at the same time.
And she knows I'm not done with this, by the way. Like, so now that I found out about these blip billboards and how cheap this is to run, by the way. So
How many people have seen this billboard?
I don't know, several thousand so far, according to the metrics I'm reading on the thing. But now that I found out that you can do this for so inexpensive, now I'm going to do different ones. Because you know how the stuff I put on Facebook, like remember the Lego yacht, the Chokwe Jody Lego yacht?
That I made?
Yeah, you made the Chokwe Jody Lego yacht, but it was my idea. That's what it would be. So I'm going to have a Chokwe.
You would have never been able to put that thing together with
Absolutely
your fat
not.
fingers.
No, I would not been able to do it. But the thing is, it's still my idea. So what I'm going to do is have the Chokwe Jody. That may be the next billboard. Buy the Chokwe Jody Lego yacht, Jackson Bribery Lego yacht.
You might get sued for that.
You think I get sued for that one? I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe
I might sue
billboards.
you for this last one.
I'm just doing the legal themed billboards, like your mama says, call the York Crawl Law Firm. Like, I'm Kenny Stokes up there. Just a lot of this.
You could do that picture of us with our Stokes hats.
Yeah, I mean, something like that. So just kind of funny things. And now these are really inexpensive to run. So I'm going to wait for it, y'all. It's going to be the summer of comedy coming from these billboards because people will remember.
I'll pray
that.
for me.
I heard last night, remember we were watching how the Depo-Provera shot causes like brain cancer. I was like, ooh, I need to come up with something, but that's not really funny. Like, I can't make a joke about that, right?
Well, I was on Depo-Provera and got pregnant, so
Yeah,
there's that.
It doesn't work apparently, So I was like, could I make something? But no, nothing's comical about brain cancer, so I can't really do that. But there is something funny about patriotic pineapples and the Reunion Swingers Club. So if y'all see this ad around town and want to send me a picture of it, I'd really appreciate it. And Lindsay, I know she would too. Definitely, she's excited to drive by and see them. They're right now in Brandon and in Pearl. So I did text. I was in a group, text some local politicos from that area saying, don't get mad at me for putting these up in you guys' districts. They're not as like. Do you remember when the strip clubs in Jackson ran those ads? Like,
No. Oh, maybe I do. Like
yeah.
with the girl on the stripper pole.
Yeah, it was like something like "get hard" or something like that. Something like sexual innuendo, and like then they got raided. Like the mayor raided. It wasn't Chokwe, it was before Chokwe, and they raided the strip
I think
clubs.
the ones about texting and driving, and is that the Department of Transportation, the MDOT, that has those up? Those are funny. They always have like some witty sayings.
Well, Morgan and Morgan's got one that says "size matters." I mean, what does that implicate? You ever seen those? Those are all over town.
What does that mean?
What size matters?
Why would they be talking about that?
Well, because they're talking about the size of their law firm. They've got so many locations, but they're also saying size matters. Yeah.
Okay.
So apparently they got into some trouble in some cities with it. Like, people did not like that. They thought that was too, risque or whatever you want to call it. Size matters.
Hello to Stephen Blackwell, who says he's tuned in, and to Peekaboo, he said he hopes we're doing okay today. I don't know if we are. Jasmine is watching; she's laughing.
But I mean, I'm just so I don't know. If so I didn't do anything like size matters, but the yacht one is going to be Got Yacht, like Got Milk. Remember that? It's going to be like Got Yacht, and have them as cartoon ones, and on the side of the yacht. I think that's the way that's what I'm thinking in my head. But if he's getting better ideas, I'm really going to put some time and money into this.
And you used to be friends
campaign.
with Jody Owens. He's not going to be he's not going to think favorably of you whatsoever anymore.
Just hey, it's funny. I can't help it. I mean, you get caught at the yacht with a bunch of money. You get what you get. It is what it is. So this, or maybe like little jokes from different political events and happenings we have in central Mississippi that would be funny. I mean, So I don't know. I'm coming up with things. Just wait and see. It's really cheap. I'll have to spend like $5 a day on each billboard. It's not bad. Then you can do anything you want. So
Thanks, Clay.
thank Clay.
Thanks a lot.
He
Thanks
even
a
said,
lot.
he's like, I know you'd be all over this. I said, you ain't kidding. Like once I realized that there's something I could do, it's going to be great. But anyway, so I've gotten we'll get off the patriotic pineapples for a while. I got enough time to talk about that for the next 2 weeks. I may even have Michael Applewhite make a shirt for Lindsey wearing the pineapple. So
Michael Applewhite, if you are listening to this, don't you dare.
So we are still there is still just reports about missiles being fired at Qatar and Iraq. None of them have landed, thank God. So none of our troops right now are injured or killed, and that's really good news to hear. We'll see as the day goes by how much more this escalates, or over the course of the next 20 years, because I have a bad feeling that's where we're heading, like we did last time. So we will definitely see. So I mean, we should focus on the stories that matter, like the cervical cancer or transgender and hot teachers having sex with 15-year-old students.
We got to take our last commercial break.
Right.
Y'all stay with us, or you might not want to after hearing Shaun today, but we will be right back. WIB 103.9 Crossing Out. We are back here on WIB, crossing the aisle with Shaun and Lindsey. Shaun, what's up this week?
Well, there's a war. So I don't know what else, but good news. I did just see while we were at the break, apparently Iran did warn Qatar about the attacks as a way to limit casualties. So this may be a performative off ramp for them. So it's possible that if that is, that means it's a lot like 2020 after the attack on Soleimani. And if they're just doing this to show that they're just, for lack of a better term, doing something, that's good news for us. That's good news for the world. That means we might not actually be getting into a war if this is just like some performative thing by the Iranians. Let's pray that that's what it is. But that's some of the reports that I'm seeing right now, according to a lot of different reports, that they did warn Qatar about the impending missile strikes. Also, another one that's updated is the U.S. does not know where the Iranian uranium, where the Iranian uranium is. So, and it wasn't in the facility at Fordo during the attack, which was a good thing. And I have this theory that we kind of we warned them about that to move it so it wouldn't cause us radioactive fallout there. I think I have a feeling the Chinese came and picked it up, and we arranged that, which would make a lot of sense to me that may have been done for that to be moved and not to be blown up during that attack, which would have been bad for a lot of people. So we have admitted now apparently that we do not know the location of the uranium. I believe we do know the location of the uranium. We just don't want to say it out loud that we gave it to the Chinese or we arranged for the Chinese to pick it up. But I think that's probably what happened.
I'll be back here this afternoon.
Oh, it's right, on the Kim Wade show, where his opinions are stronger than his lifts. And I
gotta tune in, because when I'm here, Kim gets on this roasting Shaun.
Well, I want
segment.
Kim. You asked
hilarious.
me this last night. You were like, "Why are you making fun of Kim for being as part of the Nation of Islam?" I'm like, "He was. He talks about it. Ask him about. He converted to the Nation of Islam while in prison, and that's how. Because if you ever see those movies
in prison,
yeah, that's what happened. He converted. That's the only place anybody converts to the Nation of Islam is when they're in prison. There's always like this educated black guy that converts another black guy into the Nation of Islam. That's what
Kim. He just called you educated.
That's what happened. So Kim met some educated black guy in prison and converted. Like, you ever seen Malcolm X? Like exactly how Denzel got converted?
No, I've never seen Malcolm X.
That's what happened. So ask him about his conversion in prison, because I'm interested. Like, I want to know what down. I mean,
you're
it's true.
such a liar.
This is not a lie. Ask him. He was in the Nation of Islam, and the only way one gets into the Nation of Islam is through a conversion in prison. That's the only way. You've never seen the other way.
You're so full of it.
I'm telling you. Ask him. I'm going to call in and ask him about his conversion. Like, that's what happened. He converted in prison. He was in prison for sodomy, and that's what it was.
You are gonna eventually get sued if you don't shut your mouth. I have an appointment tomorrow, and then hopefully Wednesday we'll be able to announce our new sponsor. Super excited about that.
Okay.
Some big things coming.
It's not the Nation of Islam.
We gotta go. We'll be back here tomorrow. Y'all tune in, same time, same place, and we will see you then.
Bye.